Hey Aquarius, I'm Eleanor and welcome to Peaches by Starlight Tarot. This is your weekly pick-a-card reading. Your month of April, your theme is the Ace of Pentacles, so that's going to be planting the seed of something brand new that you want to grow over the long term. And last week it was more about just kind of surveying the territory and making sure that you have a good space cleared for that. And this week the energy is the beginning, so that's where you start to see and look for opportunities to actually plant that seed. So I'm using Divine Doors and Tarot Leaves. I have step 1, 2, 3. They're timestamped below. You can skip right to the one that you want or more than one if you like. This is a general, so if you would like a private reading more tailored to your situation, you can get an email reading with me. And my Etsy page is linked below where you can find information on those. Like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And let's get started with stack 1. Okay, you have Strength in reverse. The Four of Pentacles in reverse, and this is your door. It says, a moment's joy, sand through the hourglass, yet time could stand still. A moment lasts forever in the bliss of the heart's will. I tell you what that reminds me of. That sounds to me like flow state. When you're doing something that wraps you up so fully that that has your senses and your mind so completely engaged that time literally will dissolve around you. And so it just disintegrates. I know sometimes when I'm sewing and that thread and that needle and what it's passing through become just all there is, and time will literally disintegrate. And so if you are feeling overwhelmed, clenched, holding on too tight, it's time to loosen that grip and take the first real world steps, like actual actions in this world towards planting this thing. And so coming back to the moment and the actual, like literally physical sensations of taking the actions towards whatever this is, and making this investment in yourself, whether it's something you're doing for your health or something that you're doing to try to make money, whatever it is, it's not just a concept in your mind. This is something that requires you to do things, right? So this is going to be talking about orienting yourself in the moment of the actual doing of the things and losing yourself in that and letting time dissolve around you when you do that. And the physical sensations of the actual act of taking this opportunity and taking the first steps of planting this new opportunity. It's like when you're cold, you know, I know that when I work in a warehouse, it can get very cold there, and so your body, your arms and your limbs have a tendency to want to stay in and stay in close to you where it's warm, and to not creep out, because like air will pass through there and make you cold, and it's like the body does want to keep its all warmth by keeping everything in tight towards the center where it's warm. And so we resist the very movement that would get the blood flowing and warm us up. And that's kind of just a metaphor, an analogy for what they're trying to ask you to do here. Stack 2, you have the Moon, 10 of Pentacles. This is your door, and it says, draw down the moon. The forest nymphs dance in sheer delight, singing soft songs, find us in the wild, good night. So we have this double reference to the moon. Now, when you are handed the Ace of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, that's what you want to do with it. That's your goal. That's your end game when you have the Ace of Pentacles. And so I'm feeling like we have point A and point Z, and you're trying to figure out how to get from point A to point Z. And between the two is the moon, the unknown. The path is totally fuzzy and shrouded by darkness and confusion. And so there's unsorted inner turmoil and conflict in your conscious and subconscious, and what your desires are, and exactly you're being asked to address those issues. That the path from A to Z doesn't circumvent, it is through, and so you will have to address those subconscious desires, address what needs you are trying to meet by building this. That if you don't, there's a potential to A, not get there, or to grow something that you didn't intend. And so you have to do the moon, to me, talks about shadow work and being very much getting to know the schematics and those inner workings that can sometimes motivate you, those hidden motives that you don't know are driving your behavior. And so that's where you kind of have to be able to navigate that uncharted territory and address those things. And enter into it, though, unafraid, and be fluid, because with this message here in the Divine Door, I'm feeling like that there's nothing to fear there, to be able to dance and engage with like a child, because really what's in the shadow is the unmet needs from when you were a child. It is the frightened, abandoned child that lives within all of us. Not necessarily abandoned, but whatever it is that is wounded is maybe the word I'm looking for. But there's nothing in there to fear, because everything in there is you. It's only you. All right, stack 3, you have the Star reversed. 5 of Pentacles reversed. That is your door. And it says, Divine Guardian, do not be nervous. Today or tonight, the path you are on will lead you just right. When the Star comes up in reverse, it does show you losing sight of your hopes and dreams, losing faith, getting burnt out. It feels a little bit like in the horror movie when you're in a hallway, when the main character is in a hallway, and all of a sudden it gets really long. It's like they're running down the hallway trying to get to a door, and it just keeps getting longer and longer and longer out before them. And so it is suggesting here that you do need to reach out for help and ask for someone to reorient you and to get you unstuck and to connect with others in order to regain perspective. Because when that hallway gets really long, it's disorienting and you've lost perspective. That's what happens there. And so you do need to have some kind of anchor that makes everything make sense again. And it says plainly that you are on the right path. It's not that you've taken a wrong turn. And so I'm feeling, though, is not that your goal didn't suddenly move away from you, that the hallway didn't actually get long, that something didn't happen to disrupt the progress you were making. Nothing got moved, but you stopped. Something's gotten you stuck in place, and that, like on a treadmill. So it's not maybe so much that the hall's gotten long, but instead of moving forward on the ground, you've gotten on kind of like a treadmill type, or that you're walking on. I feel like I just saw a funny video of someone that poured some like Dawn dish soap on the ground, and they were kind of using the soapy floor as like a treadmill for a minute until they fell. But anyway, that's what it's like. It's like you're on something slippery and you can't quite move forward. And so it is talking about this reverse 5 of Pentacles. Come out from whatever isolation you're in, probably not physically right now, but definitely emotionally, definitely through social media, through the phone, through text. Reach out to the people and get that support that you need to get that perspective so you can get moving again. All right, Aquarius, that's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you in a week. Thank you.